Going on, people? My friends and family. Yes, we're back again, once again. Let's Paint TV. We are back. All right. Okay, so we're back for another hour of power. Yeah. Okay, what do you guys want to paint today? I was thinking I was going to paint an apple. I know it seems kind of somewhat boring, but something tells me to paint it. I've been wanting to paint some apples, but maybe we should change it up. And I got this other canvas here that we might want to just try something different too. So we got a lot of possibilities. We can always paint the apple. We could always paint the apple. But I have it in me to paint some just straight up apples. So why don't we just do that? Without further ado, we'll paint some apples. All right. It's gonna take some figuring out though, so bear with me on that. But I got the apples right here. So let me see what I can do about this. All right, we got some apples to choose from. Now I gotta get the canvases. Let's see. I think we're gonna go small. Should we go small? We'll go small with them. Do I have any more small canvases? Should we go big? We could go 4. We'll go 4 up. We'll go 4 up. Yeah, let's make 4 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put these away. Come on. Okay. That's a good start. Let's get some do I remember the Alamo? No, I do not remember the Alamo. Okay, so they're going to go vertical. These will be vertical. Now we are ready to rock and roll. All right. Ready to rock and roll. I think. Or not. But we're here to hang out nevertheless. But our goal is to paint 4 of these apples. Now, which one am I going to choose? Will I do 4 of the same, or will we change it up? I think we'll just go with the one, I guess. We could go 2. This one has a weird coloring. This one might be a little more. It doesn't matter. Okay, maybe that's good. Okay. It's 88 degrees here, so it's a little hotter here than it was the last few days. Still not 110 degrees, which would have been way above and beyond. It's bearable. This is bearable. Okay, well, I guess I'll put some gloves on, and we'll try to paint this this idea. All right, here we go, another jaunt into painting realm. Okay, what we're gonna do, let's see, is there a good shot of that or no? Not necessarily. If I'm gonna be blocking, so why don't we put this over on this side, maybe. Maybe that's better. Let's see. Maybe that doesn't work. Okay, is that gonna work if I'm over here? Maybe it will work. I think that kind of works. Let's see. It's a little better. How you doing? Okay. That's gonna work, I think. Okay. So this is just some apple. It's a simple apple, but we're gonna go big on it and then have fun with it. If possible. What we're gonna, what we're gonna do is we'll paint 2 different types. The 2 apples, one up on the right, two up on the right, and 2 up on the left of the apples. And so that would give us a little fun for the exploratory aspects, a little variety, as they say. So we're kind of going dark. Okay, so that's kind of where we're headed. That's kind of what it is all about. Now there'll be a shadow on that. Okay, so let's go up above and do the same up on the top. Just a big ball. That's all it is. It's just a ball, big mass. But we're gonna get all intricate on it in a minute once we get this blocked in. But right now, it's just a big blob. Okay, that looks good. Let's clean our brushes and put some more paint down, if we can. And what I want to try to do is get some white on the backdrop. My brush is completely dark. Oops, and we're gonna have to make it lighter, but we'll give it a gray for now. The gray will be okay for now. It's an okay color. Let's just kind of put this over here. The beginning of a painting is always there's so much possibility. There's so much freedom and opportunity and chance, and then you can easily get more and more thrown into the idea of fine-tuning it, which we do a certain amount of that, and so but at the beginning you can't be doing that because you're just putting down the paint, and there's the freedom that this is the most free you are at this point, you know. So obviously it would behoove myself to possibly figure out how to keep that freshness going. At least I'm keen on that idea. Now this is the end of this amount of our quart of white, but I have some more. I have another quart available that we might have to get to, but I think I might not need it. I think I can work this little bit, but for now let's just know that it's there. Okay. All right. So let's put the tape down. It's acting up. Let me retape you. I think you're acting up. Yeah, you lost your tape feeling. How do you use Super Chat? Says CA1177. Well, I've never actually tried to use it myself, but I think there's like a little money button at the bottom somewhere, and by doing that you would be then donating I think as little as $1 to support the program, and then you will then have Super Chat abilities. You will become superhuman, basically. At least in this chat room, you would become superhuman. You'd be a superstar. All right. So that's what we're up against right now. It's as simple as painting an apple, and as you'll see, it will get complicated as if and when we go further and further and further into it with it. But right now we're still in the honeymoon stage of the painting, as far as I'm concerned. This is a good place to be. I think it's a very free-flowing kind of operation, and then it's potentially all downhill from here. Not necessarily. It's just the way you could look at it that way. Now I have some lemons, and I think I'm going to try lemons next too, because they're you know, this is red, and then lemons are yellow. You know, oh, I gotta do oranges. Ha! All right, I'm already feeling the love already. I'm getting excited. Let's just finish these first. Sometimes you get those little bursts of ideas. Not like I didn't have that idea already. It's just you have plenty of ideas. You don't act on them all, obviously, and so and only because you're not inspired to do so. And so anyway, I just kind of got inspired to possibly. Hey, all right, CA1777. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much. All right. Got the disco ball, turned on the disco ball with that super chat. All right. Okay, so we got that little background going on here. We'll just leave that for now. We'll leave that off for now. Let's, well, I said that, and then I'm still messing with it. And that always is the case. Okay, so as they say, we got a nice Bouyer base going. Okay, so basically I've split these two apples. One apple. Can you see these apples? Are you seeing these apples? You probably are not. Maybe you see it up here on that camera. I know this camera shot's no good. And then this guy, I don't think you can see the apples, but they're right there. Right there. Okay, they look like tomatoes at the moment, these apples. Okay, let's add some yellow to these. So let's do that. Gonna have to get more yellow, I think. Running out pretty fast here on the yellow. Gotta smash in the paint into the existing paint. That's well, they sometimes call it wet into wet. I think they also call it alla prima. I think they'll call it that too, though. I tend to be hesitant to use any of those terms because it always seems to be there's always seems to have a bunch of I guess structure or sort of there's always like some kind of organization always involved in these terms, and so like I said, I never feel like you're part of any of that crew of uh-oh, there goes a mosquito. Anyway, so that's just my own issues, I guess, ultimately. Okay, so this is already shaping up to being some lovely apples. Now there is a shadow on the side, so we're going to get to that here in a minute. I need to get some more yellow. We're running out of yellow, and I think I got another yellow in the other. We're going to have to use the rest of this yellow here. Wet on wet, Bob Ross, yeah. I think he might have called it wet on wet. Yeah, but I think the word alla prima is also wet on wet, or wet into wet is also. Use the rest of this yellow. Get the rest of you. Oh, you gotta squeeze that out. It's always there's something satisfying about using the rest of the very last of a tube of paint. But there's also sort of a strange feeling that you didn't quite get it all. But if you try to get any more, you end up, you get very little and you wasted a crap load of time. Okay, so let's just move on. Okay, so I put down more yellow. But before we go back to that yellow, let's bring in some darks here on these apples. And I have some existing dark colors on the palette here waiting for use. Some ultramarine blue with some phthalo green and some alizarin crimson. I actually have some black itself. Anyway, so we have plenty of good dark colors. So let's try to make use of those darks that we see. And that tends to be on this right side of each painting. So we'll just kind of put them down there. It's kind of on the bottom of this one too, a little bit. For some reason it's kind of dark over there. Okay, so this one actually goes, it's more of a circle, isn't it? Yeah, for some reason I gave it a dip when it wasn't dipping. At least not on the top part, it wasn't dipping. It dips on in the middle of the circle. It's kind of like a combing, kind of like combing your hair, if you had any hair, which I don't, but you just sort of, I don't know why I said that. It's not really the case, is it? I think what I'm trying to say is that I'm following the way the apple is presenting itself with the texture and stuff, and so with the brush, where you brush your hair, it is kind of the same way. You kind of go with the flow of it all, and maybe that's what I'm alluding to. Gonna kind of concentrate on the dark stuff here for a second. Now that's the center of the apple, so let's give a hint that that's there, and this guy's in there in the middle. Put you there like that so we know you're there. You can do the shadow for the apple next. It's all right if it's a little off. Don't worry if we get it wrong. There's plenty of ways to fix it, or just go with the fact that it's wrong, you know? That too, that's always good. But we can always maybe it's just a matter of getting the shape of the apple feeling more like that it's an apple. The top left here is seems a little off. I'm going to get this fan on me as opposed to having it running around all the time. Let me just stop the rotating fan thing. There you go. That's what we need. Yes, yeah, they definitely. Are we lagging? Says Seth. We having some lag problems? I'm not having any mention of that, so it's. Dare I say it's on your end. How do we like those apples? You know, they're not the best, but they're organic. They're not, you know, an apple is not always the best, you know what I mean? But they're at least small. And there's no doubt that a small apple is far better than the big, large ones. Have you ever watched the movie Sleeper? It's a Woody Allen movie from the 70s. And the movie there's a scene in the movie where they figured it's based in the future. And I guess he wakes up into the future somehow. I forget the premise of the movie. But there's a great scene where they have figured out how to make fruit humongous, like gigantic fruit, and they do kind of to this day figured out how to make fruit bigger, and it's always so disappointing. And if there's one thing we learn here today, that you learn here today besides painting, is don't buy the big ass fruit, because that is tasteless, and there's no flavor, which is tasteless, and you end up paying more money because of the weight of it all. It's a lose-lose. So you pay more money and it's tasteless. Great. Thank you. You know, business. That's a great business plan, you know. I mean, capitalism. That's one example of capitalism. That's lame. Oh. So that's how I like these apples. They're okay. Actually, once you get past the kind of the bland skin of the apple, and you mix the skin with the pulp that's inside the apple, they're actually quite they're fine. They're decent. But for some reason, the skin, the initial bite into these is a little lacking, and really there's nothing you can do about them. They just suck. So sometimes it just happens that way. You can't. The grower or whatever, sometimes they're not in season or whatever, and they're just going to give you get some bad apples, basically. It's like a bad apple or pippin apples. Pipples. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, New York City, yeah, the Big Apple. I mean, that is, classic. That's how great. That's how awesome. They made that slogan really awesome for New York City, and if you ever been to New York City, you'll notice that all the little places where you possibly could even buy fruit and vegetables, which are next to none, because they have little teeny shops that are more like liquor stores, and they just sell a bunch of chips and alcohol, and then they might have a couple of a little teeny section for fruit. They've gotten better, I gotta say, over the years. They're much better, but basically the fruit there sucks every time I've been to New York City. But now that's over the years. I think last time I was a little more impressed by the whole thing. But so it kind of reinforced it that they have shitty produce in New York City. The Big Apple. That means that they got big, tasteless apples. All right, I shouldn't be dissing on New York City. I actually love New York City. I don't know if I love it, but I do like it. I think I could live there. Maybe not after me just dissing it. But I think they can take of all places. I think they can take a little bit of a ribbing if they can hear you out. They're willing to hear you out, maybe, or maybe they'll shame me. I'll get shamed. Okay, now we're going to come. Now we kind of work. Oh, I didn't do the shadow on the. Why don't we put the shadow in now too while we're at it? Let's do it. What I like about painting apples, and I do this like maybe once every couple of years, I might paint a couple of apples, and there's nothing really. I mean, it's just such a simple thing, It's not. You're not. It's just straight ahead. It's just a circle, and yet there's a lot that you can paint from it, and from observing, and it's a whole world. It's a whole world. Each apple. So we're just going to get the shadow in there. Now I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should have moved everything to the right just a tad bit, but I'm not gonna sweat it too much. Maybe if the shadow's kind of more. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. Obviously, I'm not going to worry about that. All right. Is this an RC Cola? No, it's a Coors Light. Coors Light. The Big Orange, that didn't really ever take off. I know they tried to do that, Alex. That was somewhat of a big move, and They probably put a lot of money into that campaign. But honestly, that didn't hold, the big orange. And I'll tell you why. Because when you think of orange in Southern California, you're thinking of Orange County. And you're thinking, the orange curtain. And you're thinking everything in Orange County being, in very conservative. And that's not LA. And so it's not progressive. It's not entertainment. It's just, it's just Orange County. It's the orange curtain, It's Anaheim and Huntington Beach, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach. Yeah. So yeah, the big orange that didn't hold for LA. LA's is far more cosmopolitan in terms of way more multi-dimensional. There's just way more things going on in LA compared to Orange County. Orange County is and always been a sort of bedroom community of sorts. Now I will not be invited ever to Orange County ever again. But I know you guys. I feel the love. I know the love. You guys just it's true. So, all right. But it has changed considerably over the years. It is actually there's actually quite a few. It's not as conservative, though. Looks like Huntington Beach is still pretty darn conservative. Oh, I need to put some shadow underneath, some real sharp, crisp shadow underneath these little guys. That will make it pop. It's gonna pop. So yeah, Orange County and New York City, possibly on their shit list. I'll make it up to you guys, if you, or not. what am I gonna make it? I come in peace. So a programming note will, depending on how we feel about how we resolve these today, I think we're going to do some lemons tomorrow, just to make it have some fun. And I was mentioning that I'm going to start making some broadcasts on Reddit. And I have one. I have one planned for next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I think that will be. I've been told that will be somewhat promoted under their. Within their community, in the Reddit community. So it should be quite a few viewers, at least we're hoping. So I may be bringing my A game. But that's always a strange predicament. Is could this be my A game? I mean, well, probably not, but it could be. This one is not looking right. You're entitled to make it wrong. We can, that's where we fix it. That's why we're going to fix it. Hey, all we got to do is just kind of trim it down. It's a little too much of a shadow there. It's a really teeny shadow. This one looks like a basketball here right now. Should paint Wilson on it. Hey, NBA starting up right now. It's like, you guys watching that stuff? Not yet. I'm not feeling it yet, but I did watch a little bit of baseball, because of course they were the first to get going on this whole thing, and then football's coming around the corner, though it might all get shut down, right? Maybe. I mean, I tell you, it seems like there's always every few years there's some catastrophe. And this is definitely a very, fits the bill of catastrophe of sorts. And so we're just sort of in the middle of it all. Okay. Look at that. It's looking good. I'm liking the shadow. Guys. I will have to run on the treadmill on red. I probably will, I'm thinking. But I have my punching bag. So I might just bring back just do some punching bag painting. And just punch for a whole, 45 minutes to an hour. And take your calls. Now, the thing is that they got, at the moment, for the time being, I'm going to just be using my phone, my cell phone. So I'm not going to have the multiple camera shots and all. But in the future, I may be, there is a way to use the OBS, which I haven't really entered into it. So, I might just run and punch and paint, yeah. All right, so we got everything's lined up. The stars, the moon, and the stars have lined up. Isn't there some song? I want to think that's somebody from the 50s, 60s. Let's reintroduce the yellow here on top of our kind of dark these apples that have an extensive dark, they're dark overall. But we did that on purpose. And the reason why I tend to do that, not always, but in this kind of case, it's always to your advantage. And that is you go dark to light, meaning you do your darks first, and then you put your lights on top. And it just makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to go back and forth as much. And so the light sits on top. You don't waste your lights. Again, particularly I don't have that much yellow without having to get another tube of yellow that I have in the other room. So I think I can get by without having to do that. But white. Yeah, so apples have just tons of stuff to look at, even though it's just straight up kind of a boring thing to be looking at the same time. But there's a lot of information there that you can get into. At least make an attempt at it all. The moon and the stars. Yeah, I'm drinking Coors Light. Coors Light. Uh-oh. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey! Doom, 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 doom. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Okay, so now we're doing a little bit of back and forth because basically I don't have it all figured out. Basically, that's what it is. I don't have it figured out, but I will possibly get it figured out. Let's see. Gotta do the stem here in a minute. We're gonna have to bring back the reds and stuff like that. But we're gonna do all the yellow for now for a minute, and then go back, do a little bit of back and forth, basically. Not sure if that's. I think the trick to painting is you want to just get comfortable with your materials and your brush, and just feel somewhat confident about what you're doing, but don't sweat the fact that it's not necessarily correct. And you know what I'm saying is, you want to have some fun and find some kind of success, and so that you become excited to do it again. Because if you don't get any success and you get frustrated, you're probably just going to give up. But it's also probably maybe not meant to be. Maybe you were not. I mean, not everyone's necessarily is meant to be, painting. This bottom part needs to be lighter. Yeah, let's bring that out, the little bit of light stuff here on this side. I mean, it goes light all the way to the edge. So you can kind of see, you can, the more you observe this stuff, you really can pick up, and you get kind of excited. So it's not just, red, one. Do 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 do. Red. Red one. There's like little freckles. There's little freckles on that apple, isn't there? Now they're kind of looking like pumpkins. Hey, we should paint pumpkins when Halloween comes up. Let's make that a date. Let's do the get to the stem. Do a little stem cell research. No, just stem research. No cell research. No, we're not getting into anything like that. Yeah, they pop it with some lights. There's a little little light thing going on there. Okay. Let's see here. Sometimes you gotta just get back into the smashing of it all. We gotta probably step back and take a look at what the hell we're doing. Let's go ahead and put the stems on here. Sound boy Eric, you gotta paint that. You gotta paint that crazy lemon onion. All right. As I said, we got a nice bouillie base. Let's go ahead and put these little stems. Look at that. Okay, let's get the top one too. Okay. Beautiful. Now let's get the bottom, the ones on the right. And they go in a different direction, these guys. These are the right-sided ones. And these are actually darker. So I think they're kind of in the shadow. Actually, these guys are dark too. Let's get them dark. Yeah, give them some color, some intensity of whatever. Yeah. Now it says, yes, I am. An apple. That's what it says. That's what it's saying. I am an apple. I provide nourishment. Now I made it too dark. I went overboard. But I needed to. I felt like I needed to. There's some green that doesn't really need to be green. This could be too dark over here. Failure is creeping up on us, my friends. We're gonna have to bring out some red. Bring back some red here. Let's get some red going on with this stuff here. Yeah, let's bring some red. I feel like I'm. You know what it is? There's the thing called foreshortening, and this apple has the issue of foreshortening, which can be somewhat problematic for art. But I think if we kind of try to work around it, just make it work, get it to work. Maybe we could just do that. Not going to give up. Already feels better just by giving it that little bit of red love. Maybe. Not sure yet. Not sure yet if that's the case. But it could be. Could be onto something. We need some more red. Not yet. We're not there yet. dark down here. Let's go up here. Get these guys. See if these guys are gonna be of any better. Gonna have to get some fresh red. The red that we got going on is just all it's in bad shape. So let's clean our brushes or the palette, clean it off just a little bit. Put down some fresh red paint here. Ooh. All right. We'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll try to fine tune these. When we come back. All right. You're watching Let's Paint TV. How about that? All right. Be right back. Ooh. Yeah, it's good to look at it from far anyway. Okay, we're back. Whew. No, we're still here. We're still here. VHS. We are still here. Oh, oh. Hey, it's good to do some stretching while we're at it. I don't have it down. I don't know quite the best stretches that are available. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh. Do some stretching, yeah. So yeah, right now these look kind of a little sad. They look a little sad, if anything. I know someone, Florio says they look at one looks a little shy, and a little innocent. I'd say they all look kind of sad. They look a little sad. All right, maybe I've lost my love for painting apples, but I'm gonna stay with it. And I think we might get a little closer to feeling satisfied with these. I know you're not hearing me 100% clear because I don't have my mic right on me here. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so literally, okay, so let's put some more, get some more red on the palette because there's no red there. So we need to give it some fresh red maybe. There's enough yellow, I do believe. There's probably enough white, and there's really not enough dark, but I think we can muster the energy of what we need to do to get by. But we definitely need some fresh red for sure. Okay. This is sort of like a halfway critique, and yeah, they look like you need to keep working on it. But somehow, like ironically, the one that's the least painted on has some of the more nicer nuances in a weird way. Well, they all have their own little merits. And anyway, so we're gonna mess with them some more here, and then that'll be it. We'll call it a day. Okay. I don't want to keep you here forever. It's getting late, and you guys got plenty of lots of things to do, tons of stuff, lots of great things to do than hang out here with me. Uh-oh, another mosquito. Oh. All right. Oh, let's get some red. That's right. I need some red. We're out of red here too, so this will be enough though. This will be enough red paint. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They smelled me. They're coming like a kamikazes, you know, just gonna go all out after me, and they ran into the wall, the mosquito wall. of death. Okay, trying to get back into this painting here. Overall, they kind of say that we're apples. I am an apple, but they still need some extra love. And so let's try to do that now. Let's try to give it some extra love if we can. I don't really want to. All right, but we will. I got more some more red on the palette, and so that was kind of stopping me. And all right, so we're good. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed, so I think we can do that. There's a good chance we could probably pull it off. Kind of reworking the background a little bit here. That seemed to help. Who knew? Had no idea. Shadow needs to be softer. Much more softer. Get it softer, not so rigid. could spend all day there in the shadows. But we must move on. We must move on. Yes. Okay. Enough of the shadow. There goes another one. Enough with the shadows. You guys like these? You like these? Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, you know, I was painting all those various corporate products, and then finally I had one of them tell me that I was infringing on their intellectual property, and I was thinking, yeah, I guess, yeah, fine, whatever. Anyway, I kind of burned out on the whole. Okay, let's get that red. That red is, but I was burning out on that idea anyway of just painting a bunch of, you know, products. Anyway, so, and you know, not that I will never paint a product again, because I probably would. I don't think it's going to stop me just because some company told me I couldn't do it, you know. But because I don't think they necessarily were correct in their complaint. But I realized I was, regardless of that, I was been eyeing these apples, because I've been trying to eat apples as much as I can. And so you can't help but look at them and you go, hey, you are a fine looking apple. I think I could paint you. Now I have painted, just to let you know, we started this off with mentioning that I have painted apples over the years, and I probably continue to do so because they are amazingly intricate. There's a lot of neat intricacy stuff going on there. I don't know if I'm getting it. I mean, am I? I may have bitten off more than I could handle. I might have bitten off more apple than I could handle. I think that could be the title of these. Damn! That was a whole bunch of them. Okay, so now we're going to just kind of go back and forth with there's not a, I'm not necessarily using any kind of methodology or method in terms of my approach. I'm just kind of going, hey, I need some red. I'm putting red everywhere I see red. It's as simple as that, my approach. And then I go, oh, I went too far. Okay, so let's add some yellow back on there or something like that. So it's a push and pull, back and forth. We go. Simple as that. I want that little shadow from the light hitting it on top, but I might want to do that. that little lip needs some help. We're gonna do that. We're gonna help you out. You can come back in with some lights. Let's see if we can solve. Oh. Okay, yeah. Let's get rid of that green. It's too much green over there. Yeah, that's some dark stuff going on there. Let's reintroduce some dark stuff, dark side of the moon stuff. Okay, that was maybe a little much, but we'll take it for now. Okay, let's come back in with some yellows. Okay. Let's bring back the yellow. So now we did the red. We put red everywhere we thought we could put the red. Now let's bring back some of that yellow. Clean our brush just a little bit here if we can. Not that it's going to really matter too much, but it could help. Let's get a nice little bit of yellow here. Mix it with some white, maybe. Try to hit up some of those nice areas. Now this area is really got some beautiful yellow stuff, and I don't have any of that going on, and so that's a place that that's a place to go with your paint and your brush. Is that area that you are observing to be missing out on all that good stuff, that color and all that stuff. Maybe we squint our eyes. That's always good too. Squint your eyes. That's sometimes a good move. Kind of helps you see where everything's at. This is light down here. We might get lucky here. We might get lucky if we. Wow, that was a little much, but we'll just let it stay there for a minute. Might stay in the. Okay, let's move on to the other ones. I think we just have to. I think we got. Well, let's see. This guy kind of could use a little extra. I mean, just that was helpful. Let's move over here. Let's move over here. Let's move over here. This one has some noticeable dots of yellow. We'll just put a couple in there. went back to that guy. This guy had some dots also that I kind of forgot about. So oh, that's too many. That's okay. I'm just kind of put in too many here and there. That's okay though. Don't worry about it. Let's move up. Let's move up here. Let's go up. Get onto these other guys if we can. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, well, what is going on there? That just got out of hand. That the paint, the colors just was not right. We'll figure it out. Get this stuff to get some lights, little dots. Oh yeah, that's too much. That's okay. Nah, okay, now you're getting a little bit of a cutesy thing going on here with the dots. But they are there. They are there. So I'm not gonna deny the cutesy. I could get that to be happier, that would be good. Let's kind of clean our brush and get a smaller brush and get that little area to be happy with some yellow and white. Sometimes you just gotta let things, the brush, take over and let it do its thing. There's a shadow from the stem that helped a lot. Made it feel like it was something there. I could have been something. There's a shadow there. Get the shadow there. And then we reintroduced the probably should look at this from a distance. And I see some glaring issues here, so let's see if we can get that, some more of that red. Alright, we're doing some serious squinting. It kind of feels good to do that. I kind of smashing the paint though. Maybe that's good. It might be not a bad move, at least for the overall appearance of it all. So let's stay with it for a little bit, and then we can kind of open up our eyes. Maybe let's just see what's going on. See if I really screw things up here, which is entirely possible. There's nothing wrong with that though. Always okay to screw it up. Let's try it. Oh, that's a strong. And I went kind of crazy on that, but that's okay. I think I kind of like that idea. I got some darks on that. Let's try to get some dark. Ooh, yeah. Bring some darks on that. That went kind of too dark over here, but that might be good though. Let me see. Yeah, it's clearly dark over there. I got dark. That guy's dark. So. Okay, let's regroup for a second here. How you guys doing? 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. They are looking more and more like apples, but they could use a little more work. But maybe not so much more at the same time. So let's see if we can finish them off here. Let's reintroduce that stem. Yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good. They just need a little extra clarification. That's all. Let's try to get some clarification. Let's bring back the stems. Get them going. This one, these guys are kind of tricky because they need to pop within the frame, within the core of the apple, and we're not getting that basically, but we're working on it. These guys are obvious, so obvious that almost looks corny, which is, it's okay, it's all right. I'm not gonna worry about it so much. If it's corny or not, I'm not gonna worry about that. bring back those dots. Oh yeah, avocados. You gotta paint the avocados. We're a programming note. We're probably going to be painting. Probably. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's a good chance. I'm going to paint lemons. I'm going to paint lemons tomorrow. I had some cherries that I thought of painting, and then I ate them. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to paint these. And then I ate them. But there's still more cherries to be had, so I'm going to go get some cherries. I think that's a great idea. Exactly. When life gives you when life gives you lemons, you paint them. So we're going to work on that. Well, this is taking a little longer than I thought, but that's because we're getting into it. It's not. We haven't figured out the stem as well as we could or should. So let's reintroduce the stem, particularly on the ones on the right. they really need some help. So let's see if we can get that to look like a stem. That's a little too strong, but maybe that'll be good. Maybe that'll be good. At this point, this yellow ochre that I got available is to use. Doesn't do much good, but maybe it's okay actually. I kind of ran out of the yellow altogether. Now we're just kind of getting a muddy mess. We'll have to introduce just straight up white overall. Let's see. At some point, I think you might consider the idea that you become one with the apple. There is some of that. There is some truth to that. Oops. That's not right. That's okay though. We'll knock it out. Oh, we're going to have to knock that. Okay, now I'm running out of paint. But we might be close to calling it. I kind of knew that this one with this weird stripe down the middle is going to be a somewhat problem, but it actually makes it for a more interesting apple, because it's truly what an apple's all about. So let's celebrate that if we can. So we're just doing a lot of back and forth now. The premise of the light, the dark first, and then going to your lights. That all that goes into the dumpster of thought, because you're just looking for. You want to now forget that you even know how to paint. And resorts to the just your hand-eye coordination and well, I guess it's that, but I think you just want to make it. You want to forget about that stuff. Basically, I think that's really what I'm saying. More so than anything, you don't want to worry about it. Again, those structures that may help you get to a place in the painting, and they're definitely helpful, but at some point you need to, I would say, be more willing to let not have to think about it so much, as I was trying to think about the words to explain that thought, which I did have to think about it, which was quite perplexing for myself. All right, so I ran out of the red. Okay, but maybe we're down to the end here anyway. Let's reintroduce some of that yellow here and there. Now this is not really so dark, is it? Let's see if we can smash some paint there on this. Let's get some highlights. Get some. These guys are not straight. Oh, and there's a. It's not really black. It's kind of like something more of a red. This guy is dark. I don't feel good about that guy. It's not feeling right. Sometimes that struggle is good, though. It's good to have struggle. Gotta have that struggle, man. This little struggle is good. It's good for you. No, man. I just don't feel like feeling like. No. Keep going, man. Keep going. You're doing good. Don't question yourself. Finish it off. Squint your eyes, man. Ooh, that felt like an earthquake of movement I was able to get across there. Yeah, kind of lightened the back of that stem. That helped quite a bit. At least it felt kind of good. I don't know if I resolved the issue by no means, but it did seem to be helpful. And there's clearly a strong amount of color. I could bring back some of that love of that color here and there. Let's see. convinced about that. I'm not going to get any more paint. We're just going to try to resolve it with a few bold brush strokes, maybe. Not always the ants. Not always your. It may not be the most always the best answer, but it's definitely an answer. And I think that's what we're headed with it. Just a little more, a couple of more bolder moves, and but we're also using a little finesse-ish kind of stuff going on here. Let's see if I can get that to go well over here. Boom, boom, boom. So dark, is it? I am one with the apples. You realize it's endless problems here when it comes to these apples, in terms of what you're actually starting to see as you keep looking at it. And that's when you kind of have to just maybe put down the brush and say, that's it, that's it. We're not going any further with this. You could, though. Many a painter has. Oh, yeah. Let's see, lighten that area up there. Is that going to help? A little bit. Definitely some light, bright light on this side. And definitely gotta bring back some lights. I don't know if that helped. Might not have done any good. Oh, this needs to be softer. That shadow does not need to be so strong. That's better. Just possibly a hint. Maybe we gotta go a little bit darker though. Let's see here. Just a hint. Not convinced I got that to work. I don't think I did. Jeez. Maybe that's better. Let's see here. That looks so wrong. maybe it's okay. Let's get some red there or something. That didn't do any good. What are we gonna do? What's gonna happen here? Back and forth we go. All right, guys, that is it. That's the show. We did it. I'll post these pictures up on Instagram. Thanks again for hanging out. I am Mr. Let's Paint. Good night now. Bye-bye. On Instagram, at Let's Paint TV. At Let's Paint TV. You miss Paint Your Dreams? We're gonna bring that back, Rye. We're gonna bring it back. Definitely. I'm feeling it. I'm missing your dreams too.